the number of people that have been booked into the facility. And as I said yesterday, if John Smith comes in and I book him today, I can't validate that John Smith was released from another county jail within this state or any state, or even state prison for that matter, until we run their criminal history and get that information back.
Is there something in process so that we can get that information right away?
Working on getting the spots terminal with the state. I'm told that it will probably be sometime in October that we'll receive that.
So all counties would report into that, and you'd be able to get the information off that?
What the spots terminal is that when I book an inmate in, we run their name and date of birth, and we can get all their previous convictions, all their previous arrests.
Anywhere in the country?
Anywhere in the country. Yeah.
Didn't the Sheriff's Department, I'm asking the wrong person, but I'm thinking the Sheriff's Department got some kind of a system where if they're in a patrol car and they stop somebody, they can get on their phone and get information as to what conduct that individual has had previously.
When you run a license check,
yeah.
Yes, you can get their
okay.
You can get their motor vehicle history. To get their criminal history, it requires documents to be completed. I don't believe that information is shared over the radio. I'm not sure. In my experience as a patrolman, we had to request that information, and then it was sent to us in a packet. It wasn't put over the radio.
Okay.
So if you stop somebody for a traffic violation and they somebody at the door, and they the officer goes on the radio, finds out that they have one or none of other traffic violations, but this person is wanted. Are they not told that?
Yes, because they run a warrants check as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
as far as their criminal history, though, yeah.
Okay, and you got something for non-public?
Yes.
Right. Okay. You have any further questions of Jason?
No.
Either one? You. Okay. Thank you, Jason. We'll. Mr. Ayers?
No.
No. Okay. The gentleman sitting in the back, are you here for a particular reason, or?
I'm with a non-public.
He's with the non-public.
Oh, non-public. I'm sorry. Okay. I guess this Mr. Ayers is not going to show up.
No, I will get in touch with
Okay.
him.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The county attorney asked a couple times when we go into proof of personal policy manual.
Yep.
I already read it. I have 2 little corrections.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to prove it today? Because I believe that you said that you'll read it.
I've asked him many times to bring that in.
He brought it a couple of times in.
To get it approved, and
he did. He came many times and he asked for it.
Ready to approve it?
Yeah, I'm ready to prove it. I have 2 minor corrections, but I'm just scrape it out.
I had one correction. I read it too also, and I had one correction that the evaluations be done on an anniversary date rather than once a year.
So you want to
that was on
add
about
it?
the last page.
Last page is a signature space.
I believe it's at the top of the page.
No.
About evaluations.
Well, I don't think it's on the last. I will just add it so he can change that.
Well, let me find it.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
I
I don't
find
see
it
it
real
on the
quick.
last page.
It was towards the end, I know.
I saw 1 grammar correction, but I didn't check for grammar correction, so just read the content.
don't remember. It's been-
Have you seen it?
I did, but I don't remember by this point in time. I don't know what I wrote down, if I wrote down anything.
That was at the end. Sure, it was at the end, and I made the comment on it.
Can't just add it so that he changes that it will be done on the end version.
I
I know
think,
he will do annuals.
Hmm. Maybe he took it out.
No, I think he's doing annuals, but just not on the,
Did you see where it was annual in here?
I thought that if they hired him, he's doing after 90 days or something. We can just put it in and add it there if he's doing it on the anniversary date or date of hire.
I can't find it, but anyway, that was my suggestion. Maybe he took it out. Have you had a chance to read that?
I read it some time ago, so I don't remember.
I did too.
I don't remember if I had any,
We can just add it and tell him if he is putting it on, and I can just write it down.
This is for
Thing.
all employees.
This is for the county attorney office.
It's an office policy.
This is the county attorney employee personal handbook and manual. I don't know what is put on the top.
I'll make a motion that we approve the
County attorney.
Office of the County Attorney Personnel Policy Manual, dated 2012.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye.
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 And so voted. Okay. You have anything else?
Here it is.
Yeah, I had a question at Mr. at Comeau asked since last year if we can have a link on the website, because we refer so many times to his website. So I want to make a motion to give him a link at a county website.
And what is the benefit to him and what is the benefit to us?
Well, we don't register public comments anymore, and we keep on telling everyone, just go to government oversight.
Right.
And more
Which
and
they
more,
can do.
more and more you want to take out. Like last week you said, more and more you want to take out. So I think it is only fair. He asked since last year that we give him a link on the website.
Ed, you want to get into that a little bit deeper?
It all goes back to better communication between you and your constituents. It just assists them, because the cable's good, but if you miss the recording, you don't get to see it. But you can always look on the archived version of it on the site. It's convenient. You can minimize it on your computer and go about your business during the day and keep an eye on what's going on up here. It's good for you and it's good for the constituents.
Okay. Do you derive any financial benefit out of it?
I have advertisers, yes.
That was my concern.
Well, there's already a link on your site which links to local advertisers. Under, if you look at the bottom left, I'm sorry, the bottom right of your screen, there's a video tour of Carroll County.
Right.
When you click on that,
Right.
you have a slew of advertisers that also derive.
That's for promotion of those businesses, right?
Correct.
Right.
And that's basically what I also do, is promote local businesses also.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Benson.
I respectfully request that you take a vote of the board and open this portion of the meeting up to public input.
Okay, the motion hasn't been seconded, so anybody want to make a motion that we open this up to public comment?
I thought we were all finished with that.
What did you say?
I thought we were all finished with public comments. Is that something new that you wanted to add?
Well, I think that this is a very important public issue, and I think that since there are 3 or 4 members of the public here that might have some input. That
I'll make a motion that we go
interested
into,
in what they
that
have
we
to
go into
say.
public comment, because I heard this before. I haven't given it an awful lot of thought as to whether it's good or bad or whatever. But I'll make the motion, we go into public comment again. If I hear a second.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? So voted, go ahead.
I have several points I'd like to make, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I think it's outrageous that you don't record the public input anymore in your minutes. And therefore, I think Commissioner Kenny is absolutely right that if you're telling the people to go to the archives and that you ought to have some way to direct them to get there. You don't want to put it in your minutes every week, go to government website, oversight. So I think you ought to do it for that reason. I also think that Ed has provided an invaluable service to the county by coming in here every week at no cost to the county and putting this out on the air. And I see his request is slightly different than Dave Babson's putting an ad in to sell fresh meat on his farm, that I don't do anything. I think he deserves all the credit in the world, and I can't see any harm in putting a link on the web page that half the time the web page, we've had trouble with it, and now we got one that works. Well, let's use it and put it on there and allow people to go and find out what the public input questions are. You don't know that maybe in 10 years somebody will come in here in public input and say, well, you know, I mentioned that 5 years ago, and you don't have any record of it. The only record you have is Ed's videotaping. And why wouldn't you want to, if you're not going to take public input, at least allow the public the opportunity to see what was said?
Okay, anybody else got public input on that? Yeah, Damon?
I just wanted to see if the conversation with Paul had changed anything in regards to the backup.
Oh, that's a different subject, I'm sorry. Anything dealing with this particular subject?
One thing
Go ahead.
I would advise, though, that you put a little disclaimer on there saying that it's not an official county avenue, you know, for information. It's well, something like that.
Will, once this goes on, should this go on to the website, anyone who goes to the website then have access to all of the public issues that you cover?
Yes, they would see Brookfield Planning, Brookfield Selectmen, Wakefield Selectmen, Wakefield Planning. They would see all the Carroll County Commissioner meetings. They would see the
Delegation meeting.
delegation meetings. They would see the U.S. Capitol hearings on whatever issue. Could be criminal justice, public safety, or it could be, agriculture bills. They can see any other government expose report.
You have some subcommittee meetings also on it, I guess.
Yes, subcommittee meetings for the county, correct. So yes, that would be, yes, they would.
Steve?
Would there be a possibility, Ed, of maybe putting a little public comments section on that? So if someone goes to the county website and then they go to your website and they had a question for the commissioners, that they might be able to leave a public comment?
That should be on
I think we
your county
already have
website.
it. I think probably the county website have one, I believe.
Any questions that your constituents have should
Should
be
just
routed
go straight
through
to the
your
county
website.
website.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is a section on the county that I was just wondering, thinking about maybe having one of
Damon?
those too, is, maybe they might be watching the meeting and then they can maybe type in a question as they're sitting watching the meeting.
Okay, Damon?
The County Daily Sun also covers the county, so it'd be nice to have a spot for local media, so you could get
There we
the Carroll
go.
County Independent, you
There
could
we
get
go.
the County Sun, you could get Government Oversight. One of the things we talked about last week was promoting local businesses, and the media are businesses that probably would like to be promoted, so let's get the Conway Daily Sun in there too.
But I think you don't videotape it weekly. This is different, government oversight.
No, but we talked about last week that the United Way was going to have a promotion for businesses. And couldn't we put a section for media like GovernmentOversite.com and the newspapers? That might work too.
Mr. Babson, you get your hand up.
I was just thinking why you can't put it on the homepage of the county, just a little box that says media access to meetings, and put the Conway Daily Sun and it. And Independent, if they want to just make a list of 4 or 5, 6 people that are covering it. The public can go where they want. At least it's there for them to find if they want to do it. As it stands now, you've got no way to get there. Nobody.
Well, I think the difference here is that yours is not available to everybody, but the paper is available to the northern part of the county, and the Independent is available to the southern part of the county, so they have an opportunity to get the paper. Where yours, correct me if I'm wrong, is not available to everybody
It's available to the whole
Online.
world on the internet.
Yeah.
on the
Anybody
internet.
has an internet connection, and for now, it's also transmitted to North Conway's cable channel. But this
Okay.
can also expand from
How
that.
come you're not doing it on Wolfboro too?
You said you were
Wolfboro's
main-
cable channel.
They don't have the funds to pay me.
I was
You can also generate, you can also generate revenue, because technically links are usually paid for. If I wanted a link on somebody else's website, usually you pay for that link.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have a separate area on your website that says links. The person would click on it, and it would have mine, Comeau Daily Sun, Granite State News, but these people would pay for these links. And you could generate income.
Are you saying you
on
want to pay?
No, because he's taping the meetings.
I asked
Wait
him.
a minute, wait a minute.
No, I'm saying that's another avenue. Technically, with all due respect, I do not need your link.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
saying put the
thought.
link on the site to assist your communication between you and your constituents. That's all.
I don't know, but I would like to just make sure, because we're getting all of these now possible people who might want to link on, that there would be no additional cost from the web person who deals with this to us as a county with having all of these additional links on our
To
website?
add a link, it's not adding any cost to the
Okay.
website.
There's no cost to add a link,
No, it takes them 2 seconds to just add that onto the website.
Okay.
okay? Yes?
Well, time and time again that I've heard, either at a commissioners meeting or a delegation meeting, is referring everyone to GovernmentOversite.com. So I think, you know, it's a valuable resource for the people, the people, the citizens of the county, and where it's been repeatedly, go look at it at Government Oversight, go look at it at Government Oversight. Although it may not be an official recording of the county or the delegation for that matter, but where it's referred to so many times to find out answers to what was said and what was done, I would be in support of putting the link on the county website.
Can that be used in court? You're filming?
It's on YouTube, it's public information. They're a third-party
I
program.
mean, is it a legal, you said, not an official county avenue? What do you mean by that?
Meaning you're not
He
in
said for
control of it,
information
meaning it's not an
purposes
official
only.
route for you to be, meaning you don't hold that information and you're not responsible for that information. That's all I'm saying,
Just for
Okay.
information purposes
for
only.
information
Yeah.
purposes. Now,
You have a
also,
question?
the website's also been good for the newspaper. Now, Mr. Steer from the Comeau Daily Sun, he shows up at all these meetings, but other newspapers do not. But they view the website.
I know they do.
And they write more accurate stories that
True.
you can argue against and they can argue against, so it keeps everybody honest.
Mhm.
So again, it helps
I agree.
solve
Yeah,
everybody's.
yeah. We have a motion from the board to add the link to our website. Yes,
Be aware that the video tour that you have on the website now,
yeah,
when you go to the advertising area, you can click on their advertising and it goes to their website. So it does something similar to mine. So it's no different.
okay. Do I hear a motion?
I already made the motion.
You made a motion. And what was your motion again?
To put a link for Mr. Ed Comeau on the county website.
Okay. Do I hear a
I'll
second?
second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those who support the motion say aye.
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 Aye. All those unanimous, so voted. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the input, Mr. Chairman.
What's that?
I said, thank you for taking the input.
Oh, okay. Anybody else got any quick input right now before we go? We're about 12 minutes into another program that we've got to do in non-public, but go ahead.
Oh, just about the
Oh,
conversation with Paula, did that change anything?
no. We'll get a report and do something with it next week. They got to do some more research on it. I asked if there were other alternatives that we could do it in-house, and so they'll look at that. And those other questions that Mr. Babson raised regarding full day's pay if a resident is in the hospital. We hold the bid for 10 days. We don't get paid for it, but if the person is in the hospital, they get paid. Okay, so we don't make any money when the bed is held open for them
So
while they're in the
only paid
hospital.
once,
Yep.
and we're getting shortchanged.
Right, right. But we only hold it 10 days, and then they have the option to pay for it privately, or we cancel the bid, and the next person fills the bed. Okay.
It goes on 5.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I have some vague remembrance of what you said about the sheriff and his software. It would happen after somebody had been picked up here in New England that had a murder crime or something somewhere else in the country, and the local police let them go because they had no record of it being, however. And I thought you were correct that the sheriff told us he got new software that would allow them to look at
I think
people's
so.
criminal record, not just their vehicle.
Add him to the agenda
Basically,
next week.
that's my recollection.
We'll add him to the agenda next week and clear it up. But it was a new system that he put into all his patrol cars, I believe. We'll find out next week. Okay, we need to move along. We had scheduled a hearing at 11 o'clock. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn our Commissioners' meeting of June 13th and go into a non-public hearing regarding disciplinary action. That's a motion I make.
What is it? Disciplinary action?
Right.
Seconded.
Motion been made and
So,
seconded.
and is jail?
For the jail, yeah. All those, any further discussion? All those in support of the motion, say aye. Aye.
A roll call, Commissioner Kenny, yes. Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson.
Yes. So voted.
Yeah, that's a good question.